President Biden will address the nation tonight after dropping out of the 2024 race. But his decision isn't just causing chaos here at home. Biden's withdrawal has added questions to several foreign policy challenges, including the wars in Israel and Ukraine, Iran's growing nuclear threat, and China infiltrating our homeland. Joining us now is Piers Morgan, host of Piers Morgan Uncensored on Fox Nation. Hey, Piers.
Well, can I start by saying how exciting it is to be promoted to the one-on-one with you, Angie, because I've been removed from Kilmeade on the mass sofa. I'm very, very touched and honoured.
I requested you this time. Great to see you. How is what's happening here, all this chaos, the president withdrawing from the race, how is it being perceived around the world?
Well, look, back in the UK, for example, we've had 5 prime ministers in 4 years. Yeah. We thought we were the most politically dysfunctional country in the world. Until you guys came along. Because it does seem completely extraordinary to everyone, I think, around the world watching America, that this great superpower now appears to have 2 current presidents. You've got the incumbent president, Joe Biden, but he said in a statement a few days ago he's not able to even finish 4 months of a campaign to get re-election. And so his vice president has now been upped to the apparent nominee and is getting all the money, the donors, the celebrity backing and so on and so on. And the world's looking at this going, well, who's running the country? Who's commander-in-chief? Who's got their finger on the nuclear button? Personally, and not to be disrespectful, given the state of Joe Biden right now, I wouldn't trust him to open my bag of chips, let alone press a nuclear button if that had to happen. So I think there's a kind of bafflement that Joe Biden has not actually resigned the presidency. You know, it's all very well saying I'm not going to seek re-election and we're 4 months away and blah, 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 blah. But actually, what message does this send to America's enemies around the world? What are Iran thinking? What are China thinking? What are Russia thinking?
What are they thinking?
I think they're probably thinking, what a moment for America. Look how weak it all looks. You know, you've got this guy who's stumbling on as president. And I think it's going to be very bad for him and for Kamala Harris, because she's going to be out there trying to present herself as the vision for the future for the Democrat Party. But at the same time, every time Joe Biden makes any kind of speech and makes another one of his big gaffes or mistakes, or he falls over, whatever, he remains the president of the United States and the leader of the Democrat Party. So I think on every level, none of this really works. So we'll see what happens. If I was Joe Biden tonight with his speech, I would actually resign the presidency. I think it's the right thing to do.
But then Kamala becomes an incumbent. Well, they can prance her out there and make her look like the hero and the queen for the next few months.
So politically, it's a good move for them as well. Right? I'm not denying that at all. And
I don't think he'll do that. I think his agreement was, I stay on. He's not going to do it.
I'm just saying what he should do. The right thing, if he really believes, as he says, in America and what's good for the country and everything else, then he would resign the presidency. It is completely farcical that he is continuing to stumble on as the leader of the free world, the commander-in-chief of the United States. Nobody thinks he's that person. Everybody thinks that he's quit because he's simply not cognitively up to the job anymore. Yeah. He knows that. So I don't think he's going to do what I suggest, but I think it would be the right thing to do.
Yeah, conservatives feel that he's been that way for a long time. We don't know who's been running the country for all these years.
I've been writing columns for the New York Post for 2 years saying this man is not physically or cognitively fit for this office. Yeah. Why is nobody saying it? And the answer is there was a complete conspiracy of delusion and deceit by the mainstream media in America to delude the American people about the reality of Joe Biden.
The way this has
and then the moment they thought he'd lose, what did they do? They turned on him
like a bunch
of Judases, right? And now they've all got behind Kamala Harris, who they spent most of the last 3 years poisoning behind the scenes. It is a joke.
Thank you, Piers, for coming on.
Lovely to see you.
Lovely to see you.
Thanks for the promotion to the one-on-one. So happy to be protected from the Kilmeade sofa option. I really feel I've been promoted, so thank you.
He's actually the A-team. I'm the B-team, so sorry about that.
Even he wouldn't think he's the A-team. You are the A-team. The rest bask in your glory.
You're the best.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.